Okay guys, this is Finn here from Warrior Self, and this is the video here on portion sizes and food. Now as you can see, we have a couple pictures up here, right, and hopefully you watched the video beforehand so you got a quick little taste on kind of how to set up your portion sizes and such. I'm going to cover what we went over in the previous video as well as a little bit more in this one as well. Now to start, we're going to work on protein. Alright, so protein, basically we're using the palm of our hand, now both the surface of the palm as well as the thickness of it, to determine how much one serving of protein is for our plate. Alright, now here I got a little list here of proteins. So you got, eggs, poultry, like chicken, turkey, things like that. Fish, beef, pork, right? Pretty straightforward. Any of your basic meats is what you're going to be eating when you're thinking proteins. Alright, and again, that one serving size is the size of your palm. Alright, so we're going to move on down here to carbohydrates. Now, carbohydrates, we're using our fist to determine the size of one serving this time. So we have all different types of carbohydrates we can use here. Oats, rice, there's different types of oats, there's different kind of rices, there's plenty out there. Quinoa, buckwheat, sweet potatoes, yams, legumes, lentils, beans, any kind of starchy vegetables, things like corn or green beans, anything like that, your fruits, and all your basic grains, right? So those are most of the carbohydrates you're going to find. Of course, breads are involved in any grains or things like that. Anything wheat-based is a grain. All right, and we're using our fist for that one. And we're going to move down here to fats. Now, as stated in the video before, there's two ways to measure fats. We either use the last knuckle of our thumb, so the tip of our thumb from that last knuckle up, to measure things like oils. Right? So we have, like coconut oils, olive oils, anything like that is what we would use our thumb for. Right? Now, if you're grabbing like a handful of nuts, things like that, avocados, you're going to be using half of your palm, right, for that one. So you're using, almonds, walnuts, cashews. Same thing goes with seeds. So you got flaxseed, peanuts, your pumpkin seeds, your sesame seeds, sunflower seeds. All those are incorporated into that same exact one. And again, all this is just one serving size. All right, now how much of each do you eat per meal? Well, that depends on a couple things. It depends on if you're trying to lose weight, if you're trying to gain muscle. Obviously, if you're trying to lose weight, you're going to be eating less food than if you're trying to gain muscle, where you're going to be gaining more. Now, some of that you're going to have to, with this type of style of measuring food, you're going to have to do a little bit of trial and error as you're doing this. I recommend starting off at the bottom and then working your way up by just adding in more food, and that's going to be dependent upon, again, what you're feeling and experiencing through your body. So, but we're going to work into quickly a little bit of vegetables here as well, because as you notice, there weren't any vegetables involved in the previous stuff. That's because most vegetables, like your broccolis, your lettuce, radishes, cucumbers, all these things here, I'll just quickly run through the list. So broccoli, lettuce, peppers are kind of a gray line. Sometimes they can be okay, sometimes they can't. You got asparagus, broccoli, cucumber, again, lettuce again. I guess I typed that in twice, didn't I? Cabbage, cauliflower, spinach, radishes, celery. All these, there's not enough carbs in them to have an impact, so those you can eat freely. They are very high in fiber, so for those looking to lose weight, you can use these to help you feel more full and a little more satiated. Broccoli tends to be the top for me to work with that, like broccoli and cauliflower. You get into like lettuce and spinach, things like that. They tend to be more water-based. They're too light, so they don't really always give you that full feeling. Again, it's all different for each person. It's more for me personally. Lettuce doesn't tend to do much at all in terms of filling me up, so I'll substitute broccoli instead of lettuce to give me a little more of that full feeling because of the fiber that it has. And of course, fiber is very, very good for you just for digestion in general. All right, so always make sure you're getting in some vegetables as well. Now we're coming down here to how much of each should you eat per day. Well, the basic daily intakes, it's going to be protein, anywhere between 6 to 12 servings, carbohydrates, 3 to 6 servings, and then fats, 3 to 6 servings. Now, you may think like that sounds like a lot of food, and it can be. It depends on all and how you set up your plate, your portion sizes, and your meals. So I got 2 ways down here for you to follow. Now, as you see, we'll start off with option 1 here, which is just a typical 6 meals a day plan. All right, so we're eating 3 major meals and then 3 snacks. And of course, you can play with this as much as you want. If you don't want that last snack, you don't need to have it. So you can, like I said, a lot of this is up for interpretation. You have to base it off of how your day looks, how full you're feeling, how hungry you're feeling, what your goals are. So you have to kind of feel where you are and then kind of play this by ear as you go through. So you can change how this is set up a little bit week by week depending upon your fitness goals. So to look here, the first option for meal 1, breakfast, it's a protein and a carb. All right, now you can do 1 serving, you can have 2 servings, but you want a 1-to-1 ratio between proteins and carbs as you're doing this. So if I was going to start off with breakfast, let's say, maybe I'll have 1 portion of eggs. So maybe I'd make like some scrambled eggs or such, and then I'd have a portion of a carb, which could be oatmeal. So I've got eggs and oatmeal, or eggs and toast. That's one that's pretty typical that you can use. Things like that. For the snack, again, same thing. 1 serving of protein per 1 serving of carb. Depending upon your goals here, if you're looking to lose weight, you're going to want to keep these on the lower end. So like I said up here, 6 to 12 for protein, 3 to 6 of carbs, 3 to 6 of fat. So if I'm looking here, I would do 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. So now I've got 3 servings of each, which puts me at my baseline for carbs and my halfway point for protein. So that means I'm almost done with my proteins, but at that point I'd be done with my carbs for the day. And you do want to eat your carbs earlier in the day to so your body can use those to help fuel you as you go through. Now the next 3 meals are 1 serving of protein per 1 serving of fat. All right, so for a snack, it could be you're having a protein shake, or maybe you bring like a chicken breast or anything with you. You can certainly carry certain things with you if you have places to store them. If not, any kind of protein shake can be a great substitute for that. And then you can have that with some fat, like a handful of nuts, things like that. And again, if you're looking at more weight loss, it's 1, 1, right? So then you're staying within what we talked about up here. So that would be 4 servings of protein, 3 servings of carbs, and now you got 1 serving of fat down by that 4th meal. Right. Dinner set up the same way as the snack, protein and fat, and then this last meal here, same thing. Now of course you can combine these in any which way. If I wanted to take this snack here and put it into my meal, done. That means I just move what I would eat here into this. So if I was going with just a 1-1 ratio, I would take meal 6 and put it here. So I'd have 2 protein and 2 fat and completely eliminate this meal here and no longer need it. Why? Because I ate what I needed to in this dinner meal, right? So a lot of it can be changed and manipulated based upon either the way that you like to eat and things such as that, or it could just be maybe you're eating too much, maybe you're eating too little. You have to listen to your body as you go through with that. Now the last option here, the last thing we're going to go over for this video is, actually this is the way that I tend to eat. I use what's called intermittent fasting. So for the first 4 to 7 hours after I wake up, I don't eat anything. All right, there's been a lot of benefits on this one in terms of it helps digestion. It can help increase HGH, which for men will help increase testosterone. It helps you burn more fat as well, so it's very beneficial for women as well. And there's lots of really good studies out there talking about a lot of the benefits of intermittent fasting. We're not going to go into that, of course, in this video. I just touched on it briefly so you have a bit of an understanding. But that is only if you're able to not eat for the first 4 to 7 hours. And then, of course, whatever you don't eat here, you have to make up for here. So if we're kind of comparing the two here, we have these first two meals here. So that's 2 proteins and 2 carbs at the least have to be pushed down to the next 2 meals at least. All right, so if I'm supposed to have all of these, that first one's going to be here. All right, so one of those meals is going to have to be pushed into my lunchtime. All right, so if my breakfast meal, I have to push into my lunch meal, or vice versa, breakfast going to snack, or any which way. Either way, I need to then eat the proper amounts for here. So it could be lunch, maybe I do 2 and 2, so I got 2 protein, 2 carb. And my snack, 1 protein, 1 carb. Now I'm still making the requirements that I need, the daily requirements, just a little bit differently. So I'm going to have to eat more per meal to reach my calorie needs and to reach my my daily required intakes, as we spoke of above here. Same thing can go for dinner as well. All right, so that dinner meal is going to be larger, or the snack can be larger. And you can, of course, break it up. You can have more than just 1 snack between meals. You can have 2, you can have 3, as long as you're sticking within this ratio and this setup of proteins and fats, you should be okay. So like I said, it's very diversified. You can mix it up any which way you want. It's easily kind of changed and tweaked so that you can make these plans fit your day. Like I said, the fasting works really well for me. That's kind of what fits, and I like to eat a lot in one sitting, so for me that was perfect. Others, it may not work so well for. You may need to go more for a 6 meals a day, maybe 3 meals a day, 4 meals a day. You have to find out what works for you. As long as you're sticking within this daily intake, you will be okay. And of course, making sure that you're combining proteins with carbs and then only proteins with fats. We don't want to mix carbs and fats together, right? Because the carbs are going to burn through quick, the fats are going to sit there. If your body's working on burning the carbs, because that's the first thing that's going to go, the energy and the calories from the fat will be deposited in your body as fat. Right? Fat is a very slow digesting food, which means it'll be the last one. So your body will start with the carbs first, blow through those, go to the proteins, and then the fats. If it still needs them, it'll use them. If not, they're going to be deposited in your body as adipose tissue, or just that belly fat, all that stuff that none of us want. So we combine it this way so that everything works together, and then we're not just getting only one thing or the next. Proteins with all of them to help with the digestion, and of course to help you feel full, but it all works together so that you're both gaining muscle by eating the proper protein and burning the unwanted fat that you don't want, either around your stomach, your thighs, no matter where it is. This way you will not be adding to those trouble spots that you want to lose. Right? So I hope this video was helpful for you guys. Actually, if you know of anyone who would be interested in this information as well, please share it. Right? I certainly welcome sharing this information with everyone. Now, other than that, we're pretty much all set. If anyone has any questions on meal plan setups or anything that was covered in this video, feel free to email me and I'll be happy to answer your questions. Other than that, I will talk to you guys in the next video. Happy eating. Right? Enjoy your food. Make sure you're following the plan here, and I will see you guys next time.